Padapadme tayo shritva pranamami muhurmuhu. Please sit erect and let your limbs loose. Close your eyes and try to concentrate on the space of your heart. I will chant Om, and again after 5 minutes I will chant Om. You can open your eyes slowly. Om. Om. Shanti mantra. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. So we were studying Tattvabodha. Tattva means principle and Bodha means knowledge. So knowledge of the principle. Here we are talking about the ultimate reality, truth, Brahman or God. We had studied different types of states of consciousness, 3 states of consciousness, and that is integral to the practice of Avasthatraya Viveka, the discernment of 3 states of consciousness. By this practice one understands that throughout these 3 states of consciousness, the person is the same, and this person, because of ignorance, gets into states of waking, sleep or dreaming, and deep sleep. And by constantly contemplating and analyzing, we can understand that our individual nature is different from these states, that these states are just kind of identifications, kind of mix-ups which we have with our personality. While talking about Avasthatraya Viveka, we had also seen that there are different other types of practices, spiritual practices also, and then we saw that there is a practice called Panchakosha Viveka or Panchakosha Vichara. That is the analysis of the 5 sheaths or 5 coverings of our personality. 5 coverings on our personality. This is winter and we have coverings all over our body, sweater and whatnot. So if you can imagine our body being covered by 5 layers of say clothing, then we will understand that this is what is called Pancha Kosha. Kosha has got many meanings in Sanskrit. One meaning is sheath or a covering. So just like a sword is kept in a covering, or a mobile is kept in a cover, or a laptop is kept in a cover, we have, because of ignorance, kept ourselves hidden in coverings, or we have put coverings to our true personality, and they are not 1, not 2, not 3, but 5 of them. And unless we contemplate and discern and analyze what are these coverings, what are their nature, and that it is not our true nature but just a covering, we will not understand our true personality, which is just a different way of telling that we will not understand the ultimate truth, or we will not realize God. So to understand these 5 sheaths or Pancha Kosha, there has been prescribed in our scriptures or manuals, one can call them that, elaborate techniques to meditate on these sheaths. And first of all, we should know what we are talking about. What are these sheaths made up of? What are they called, etc. So here Tattvabodha is introducing us to this Pancha Kosha, 5 sheaths. So please repeat after me. Pancha Koshaha ka. Pancha Koshaha ke. Sorry, it is not ka because it is Kosha plural, so it will be ke. Pancha Koshaha ke. Annamayah, Pranamayah, Manomayah, Vijnanamayah, Anandamayascheti. So it's very simple Sanskrit. Pancha Koshaha ke. What are the Pancha Koshas? What are the 5 coverings? Presently you may say sweater, then woolly coat, etc. So many things. But here thermal wear, etc. But now here the constant coverings which we have are, what are they? Annamaya Kosha, Annamaya. So Kosha is common to every word. So Pancha Koshaha ke, what are they? What are the 5 coverings or 5 sheaths on our personality? Annamaya. Annamaya. First is called Annamaya. Second is Pranamaya. Second is called Pranamaya. We will go into the detailed understanding of each of these sheaths or coverings or koshas. So now we will just understand the names. Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya and Anandamaya. In that order. So there is an order also. Now whether it is an order of fineness or from the gross to the subtle, in one sense or in many senses, yes. Whether order in the sense of evolution, yes. So you see, the grossest is Annamaya Kosha, or the outermost covering is Annamaya Kosha. Then inside is Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha and Anandamaya Kosha. So Anandamaya Kosha is the last covering. So it's very important. Just like in sleep we saw that Jagrat Avastha is the most gross state of consciousness, and then dream little less gross and subtler, and deep sleep is most subtle. So that we need to understand. So at least if a person is in deep sleep, you are closer to the reality in one way. So Annamaya Kosha. Now we will go to what is the meaning of Annamaya Kosha. What is Annamaya Kosha? How is it made up of? Of what? So this we can call as the food sheath or the food covering. So Annamaya kaha Anna rasenaiva Bhutva Anna rasenaiva vriddhim prapya annarupa prithivyam yad viliyate tad annamaya koshah sthula shariram. So it's very simple, in very simple Sanskrit. Annamaya kaha means, what is Annamaya kosha? What is Annamaya? So Annamaya, if we analyze the word, Anna means food, Maya means full of or having the nature of. So full of food or having the nature of food, like sheath. So what is Annamaya? So the answer is given, Anna rasenaiva bhutva, that which is produced by the essence of food. Rasa here means essence. Rasa here means, does not mean the wonderful condiment or the soup which is made down South India, not that rasa, but rasa means essence. Essence. So many people are not aware probably of rasam. Anna rase naiva bhutva. So that is made of, or that which is born of, the essence of food. And anna rase naiva vriddhim prapya, and that which grows by the essence of food. And anna rupa prithivyam yad viliyate, and that which gets merged, viliyate, merged, becomes one with, or disappears into, vanishes into. Like nowadays it is winter, so there is a lot of fog, and you see that there is some truck coming and vanishing into fog. So like that. So vanishing into what? Prithivyam. And what is Prithvi? Earth. And what is earth? What is the nature of earth? Anna Rupa Prithvi. The nature of earth is of food. So there is a great logic, they create an argument that they say that because it is the nature of earth, that it is of the nature of food, out of earth food comes. So not all logic could be, may not be logical also, and maybe not be scientific, but this is how there is a thinking like that, there is a thought. So Annarupa Prithivyam yad viliyate, that which gets merged into, disappears into, dissolves into earth, which is of the nature of food. Tad annamaya hai. So that which is born out of the essence of food, grows because of the essence of food, and gets merged into earth, which is nothing but of the form or the nature of food, that is called Annamaya. That is called Annamaya Kosha. And not only that, there is another qualification or another adjective given, Sthula Shariram, that is the gross body. Very simple. But then we are not studying it just to memorize things, but to analyze our personality. And then if we analyze the personality, then we understand that the external body or the gross body is made up of food only. So there are a lot of examples for this. In the Upanishad, we find a wonderful story. So someone says, I am not going into the details, but I will give you the essence of the story. Someone says that, you see, this body is not dependent on food. Then the teacher says, okay, if it is so, then I will give you a test. Slowly reduce your food intake for 16 days and you answer my questions. So the first day things are okay, second day things are okay, then it becomes okay, like that. See, then after 16th day the mind is totally stopped, CPU shut down. Now then the person realizes, the disciple realizes that everything, the body, the mind, the thinking faculty is all totally dependent on food. Sri Ramakrishna puts it in a different way. He says, in Kali Yuga or in this age, in the modern age, Annagato Pran means the body or we are dependent on food. So we can't do great austerities. I don't know if at all any time people have done, but at least we find it in Puranas, like you are standing for so many years, and nowadays also some people do. Yeah, many people do. particularly some kind of ascetics do. So, these kind of austerities which involve torturing your body, which involve disciplining your body externally, those kind of austerities we may not be able to do, because in this age our food, this body is dependent totally on food, particularly junk food. So, that he did not say, that I have added. So, junk food, so that is why we cannot do these things. So, now we have to do a very simple thing, very simple austerity, and that is what? Always tell only truth, follow truth. Very, very simple, most of us are doing this, and so we can do that. Now, Sri Ramakrishna gave this. Why? Because in this age we see that we are so dependent on the body. We are so dependent on the body. But also in the Upanishads we see the parable where the disciple is forgetting things or cannot use his mind. His mind is totally switched off because he did not take food for 16 days. Now, that we should understand. That we should understand that this body is based on the essence of food. Now, this is also very interesting. Why did Tattvabodha say? Why did Tattvabodha say that Anna Rasenaiva Bhutva? Why didn't it say Annenaiva Bhutva? Annenaiva Bhutva. Why does it say Rasenaiva Bhutva? It says essence of food. It is born from the essence of food. Why didn't it say born from food? So, see, some kind of scientific understanding we find that they also had. Actually, birth does not take place from food, but definitely from the essence of food. So, they had some understanding, and that is why it is. And also, we eat food apparently so, but our body does not use food. Our body uses only the essence of food, and that is why we need kidney and all other. A whole lot of purification system is going on every time in our body. That is another part. It never stops. This distillation or purification process, unlike aquaguard, is going on totally, continuously. Okay. No, aquaguard also does this. No, they have this what? RO. So, it takes water and leaves out water also, much like human body. So, something is similar. So, what we are doing at best is we are aping nature. We are only going to the same path of nature. But then it says, Anna Rasenaiva Vriddhim Prapya. Yes, because I take food and grow. So, I grow because of the essence of food. My food is converted into blood and I grow. Anna Rupa Prithvyam Yat Viliyate. And where do I end up? After all this growing, I am not going to grow bigger, bigger, bigger and stay forever, but I am going to khak mein, mitti mein milne wale hain. So, olden days, good old days, there was what? There are so many songs which say that. Kabir, what is the song? No, you know that?
I know the song. This carpenter asks, the wood lakdi kahe
kumar se.
सुतार से क्या वे छेदे मुझको एक दिन ऐसा आएगा कि मैं जलाऊं
तुझको
कुमार से मिट्टी कहे कुमार से क्या वे छेदे मुझको एक दिन ऐसा आएगा कि मैं डालूंगा
तुझको. So, there are a lot of songs and lot of, in popular culture we find that all this mitti mein chala jayega, etc. and you will become mud across cultures, not only in India, across cultures. So, this is to remind us that what will happen, we will all go into. So, this viliyate, you become one with, you get merged in the same earth, which is the essence of, which is nothing but the form of food, of the form of food. Now, here again we are reminded of the 6 modifications of a body, which we have studied in Yaska's Nirukta. We did not study Nirukta here, but we I've already seen it many times. So, jayate, asti, vardate, viparinamate, apakshiyate, nashyati. So, it takes birth, it stays, and then it grows, and then it modifies, and then it starts decaying, and then finally dies. So, these 6 modifications, and all these 6 modifications are based on our dependence on food, and it takes place in the food sheath or in the kosha of food, at the covering, at the level of the food covering it takes place. So, we take food, somebody took food, and because of some essence of food we are born, and then we stay because of food, and then we take food, and then again we grow, and we have all kinds of different things coming out of, different modifications taking place in our body or not taking place depending on the consumption of our food or not consuming food. Then again we start decaying. So, one person recently told me a wonderful thing. Steam engines, those of you who were fortunate to see actually steam engines. So, but not in working condition, no. So, the steam engine like that, when you start, that will be in the beginning, it will be like that, it will go. Na? So, the person told me, one sadhu told me, I think I can, like that. This is in the youth, full of vigor, full of steam, I think I can. And then when you become old, I thought I could, like that. So, this is what happens when you lose steam. Letting off steam, lose steam. English can be a wonderful language. You see, 2 different meanings. So, when we lose energy, we will become like this. Again, Bhajagovindam, again and again it says that Kopi na prichhati varta grihe. Nobody will ask anything about you, and you will be pushed to a corner literally. And if you get a cup of tea, then you are quite fortunate. So, this Annamaya Kosha, what happens is, you see, it's so gross, but most of the times, or the major part of our lives, we center our personality at this level only. For most of the people, this is what is true. We don't even think. Now, as far as I am concerned, I am this person. Person means what? This body. I take food, I put different kinds of, all kinds of dress, pantaloons or Benettons or whatever. People who can afford, and those who cannot afford, they will go to Sialda and purchase. But anyway, any kind of dress, and then all kinds of cosmetics, seeing from this angle and that angle, and now you have Facebook and so many other things. So, some people in Facebook, they simply put same photo, their photo in different poses, and they go on posting it. So, all these things we do. Then we eat food, different kinds of food, though we are not supposed to eat, we will eat and have belly, and then we will go to gym to reduce the belly, and again eat, all kinds. So, most of the times you see, if you just analyze your day, then you will be, if you are a thinking person, you will be astonished to see that 80% of your day you are spending with the body. Pampering the body or not pampering, whatever, but you are spending at the body level. And you think, you believe that you are actually nothing but the body. That is the plight of most of us. We are at the body level only. And that is why something comes here or something comes here. People become total bonkers. They become crazy, like what will happen. So, all creams in the market comes, and then that one small, some pimple or acne or whatever, who cares? So, this body. And finally, this body also smells horrible. Human body, dead body, smells horrible, most horrible. You go across in the road and you see dogs lying down and that. But a human dead body, you cannot come anywhere close to that. So, for that, we are making such a big fuss. And again, I am reminded of Shankaracharya, who wrote in Prabodha Sudhakara, that you see, don't be so proud of your beauty, because crows are just waiting to peck you. They are not able to, just because your skin is there, and skin, not only figuratively but even physically, is only, your beauty is only skin deep. Skin is just very thin. So, He says crows are waiting. Suppose you just remove the skin, what will happen? Crows will come and peck. So crows are just waiting to peck at you, and because of the skin you are saved. So all this, so much of getting worked up with this body shows how gross we are. How gross we are. We don't go to the even next level, that is the breathing and all that, which we will see. So that kind of analysis if we can do, at what level I am, what level am I placing my personality in? Am I thinking me to be the body? How much time? How do you know? You just quantify. Just have a chart and put in black and white. How much time do I spend in bathroom and bedroom? Then you will see that the half day is gone, or more than that. Bathroom and bedroom. Then how much time do I spend in front of the mirror? Then again another considerable portion is gone. Then how much time do you spend in dining room, taking food? How much time do you spend in appreciating physical beauty? Because people think it's a great thing, no, appreciating physical beauty. It's the most gross thing, believe me. How much time do you do? Your own beauty or others' beauty, whatever. How much time do you do? So if you can actually write, take a piece of paper and write how much time you spend on these physical endeavors, you will be totally astonished to see that a major portion of your day is spent on this. So if you go for purchasing of your apparel, you are spending something for your physical thing. So then we are human beings, but practically or effectively we are doing the same thing which any other living being does. Then why do we qualify, or should we qualify as human beings? That's a big question. So this analysis has to be done. That is how you have to do. Not just by listening Tattvabodha and blah 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 and then forget. You actually take a pen and paper and analyze of your whole day how much time you are spending at the body level. Now we go to the next sheath.
As the mind is affected because of the food, but the mind doesn't come under food sheath, it comes in the monomaya kosha.
A mind is affected, that way everything is interconnected, everything is affected. You see, if something is wrong in the pranamaya kosha, that will affect your body also. If something is wrong in the mind, it will also affect your body. So these are interconnected, but we are studying them on a broad level. So then we come to pranamaya kosha, which is called life-force sheath, you can say, or you can say vital air, because generally prana is translated as vital air. So pranamaya kaha, pranadhyaha, pranadhyaha, panchavayavaha. Here it is written pranadi. Panchavayavaha, vagadi indriya, panchakam, pranamayaha. So what is pranamaya kosha? Pranamaya kosha is, there are 5 pranas. There are 5 pranas. So the So there are 5 pranas, and this 5 prana, in prana there are pancha mahaprana and pancha upaprana. So we are talking about the 5 mahapranas. So 5 mahapranas, what are these pranas? They are nothing but the vital air or the life force, that's why it is called prana, which is necessary in the body. Some kind of energy, you can say. So what are the 5 types of energies? So that is, we have prana, which is converting food into energy. So how do you do that? We take food inside, but food as such is totally useless for our body. It has to be converted into blood or whatever, into energy form. Just like we put petrol, it has to be converted into energy for it to be effective. So similarly, this prana is the energy, and that which takes away waste from the body is called apana. That is also part of this pancha prana. First is that which makes energy out of food is prana. Then apana is that which does this waste management system of the body, that is apana. And then samana is that which digests the food, is called samana. And that which regulates the circulation of energy in our body. It regulates the movement of body, the movement of senses, regulates the circulation of blood. It is called vyana. And that which takes away the life out of a person is called udana. So there are 5 functions. First is that which produces energy out of food is called prana. And apana is the energy which removes waste from the body. And samana is that which digests that food in the body. And vyana is that which takes this energy in the form of blood across the body and also controls the movement of the body and the senses. And udana is that which removes the prana from the body, means which takes away the energy or the soul, you may say, from the body at the time of death. Now, this different types of pranas are also there. Now, different numberings of pranas are also there. But for us, for the present, these things are sufficient, but I will tell you that one alpa prana is this falling of the eyelid, batting of the eyelid. This also is governed by another one alpa prana, small prana. So, these 5 pranas. Now, pranamaya kosha means the level where the metabolic system of this body, metabolism of the body functions. So, now this is interesting. Almost all of us don't even place us at that level. I mean, almost all of us are totally unconscious of, unaware of this metabolic activity. So, even the breathing thing, we are totally unaware of. We are unaware of course, digestion, etc. Only when we get indigestion problem, we become aware of that. But otherwise, we are unaware of. So, mostly we are unaware. We are unaware of only one thing, that too when it comes, is death. So, only that udana fellow, he or she, let it be she. So, udana fellow or felly, udana, she is very dangerous. Otherwise, we are not aware of any other prana. And that is interesting. Why interesting? Because we are aware of mind. To some extent, we think we are aware of mind. That is really interesting. So, now that is why we have a whole set of meditative practices across the world where they kind of concentrate on breathing or on the various body movements or on the internal functionings of the body. So, there are this system of yoga is called Hatha Yoga. So, Hatha Yoga, what does it do? It concentrates on different kinds of yogic asanas. It concentrates on different kinds of breathing practices. So you have this pranayama. So prana ayama, different dimensions of prana. So you have this nowadays famous because of one person. So Kapalbhati and all that. Good. So this yogic techniques you apply, and somebody is blowing from this side and from that side and all that. And some people trying to do yoga asana, getting up jumbled in some kind of posture. Two people will be necessary to remove that. But anyway, all this is necessary. So these are the practices by which we try to control or discipline our prana, our vital energy in the body. We try to do. But adepts, what they can do? They can actually control the heartbeat. I cannot. So don't get ideas. So people who like in Buddhism also and other people, they can control heartbeat and all that. In Hinduism also. So there are many people who can do these things, and there are a lot of studies. If you go to Google, you will find there is a lot of research going on in this. And also interestingly, there are many people, many groups who have a technique of getting into hibernation mode. So they will not eat for many months. Just like a reptile, we know some reptiles to go into hibernation mode. Human beings also, some people, there are documented evidence of many people going into such mode using some kind of practice where they don't take food and all that, and afterwards they come, and so they don't die or anything, and they are very healthy. So such things are there. So actually once we become aware of our vital air, this sheath of vital air, we start to become more aware of things. Generally, even this limb movement we are not aware of. So you see some people sitting and always they will be shaking their legs. It's a very common thing. So if you ask anybody, they will say, it's my personal thing, why do you bother? So, but actually it is not like that. In olden days, elders used to say, don't do that, because it shows lack of discipline over your body. That's what it shows. All kinds of involuntary movements happening automatically show that you have lack of discipline over your body. And this shows that we are absent-minded, and that is why you need to have total control over the bodily movements. So you see, martial arts, for example, teaches you that. You go to any martial art in this world, you will start to learn. First thing they will teach you is to have control over your body movements. So not one body movement should go in waste. Not one body limb movement should be unnecessarily done. So most of the time we fritter away our energies by doing so many body movements which are unnecessary. So this is, you see, when we say, as I said, about Annamaya Kosha, when we say about Pranamaya Kosha, what do we actually need to do? What is our homework? Our homework will be that we need to be always aware. So next time you are nodding, some people constantly nod their heads for God knows what. Some people like that, so many things are there. Some people do like that. So many people have mannerisms, etc. So these things we should control. Control means we should be aware of. Like some people have this habit of, they will do like this constantly. Very irritating habit. Even this leg shaking thing is quite irritating. If somebody is sitting in front of you and constantly shakes leg, it is very irritating. But that is what people do all the time. And they say that, as I said, why do you bother? So you see, these things we need to, what we need to do, suppose you need to control your mind, you should first control this bodily movements. That is why when you close your eyes, automatically your mind gets controlled to a great extent. Then when you start watching your breath, there is a Buddhist meditation technique which is called Vipassana. Actually it is from it is a Pali word, but it is from Sanskrit only, which means seeing in a special way, vipashyana. What does it mean? You see carefully, you watch carefully, observe carefully the bodily metabolic activities. First of all, you will try to watch your breathing, and then you become aware of your breathing. Don't control it, you become aware of your breathing, you become aware of your body. But there is a danger in this meditation is that you will become too body conscious. Of course, most of us already are, so it doesn't hurt us to, have some kind of meditation on our vital air sheath, on our pranamaya kosha. So what we actually can do is, whenever we do some kind of activity, bodily movement, we need to think. Just like when you talk over phone, nowadays very few people talk in through landline, but then they used to constantly, people constantly twiddle their fingers with that wire. Or if you go to any phone booth, there will be a scribbling pad or something, and it will be full of doodles. Constantly you will be doodling. So all these kind of activities, if we can control, if we can become aware of what we are doing, that is the first step. Then you become aware of your breathing, second step. Then you become aware of what you are taking, food. Most of the people are totally unaware of that. Then you become aware of your digestive system, your heartbeat, etc., etc., and you can go on doing that. So you need to be constantly aware of these things, and you will see, actually we see, though very rarely in our experience, some people to have extraordinarily high energy levels. You see, some people are not, some people you find they never are tired. Sometimes if you are like sitting in the audience, it may be very difficult for you because this fellow is not stopping at all. But no, energy levels, definitely some people have more, and some people go to the office in the morning itself like this. So energy levels are different. Why are they different? It is because the person who has more energy level knows how to judiciously use this plane of the personality or this sheath. Actually, true personality is not that. This covering, that is prana. So some people will simply fritter away the energies, but this person knows how to conserve energy. That is why probably Shankaracharya has said, Yogasya prathama dvaraha vag nirodha, that the first step to yoga or spiritual practice, spirituality, is the restraint of speech. I may not be the perfect person to tell this, but this is what Shankaracharya has said. So, Yogasya prathama dvaraha vak nirodha. Why vak nirodha? Because it is through speech that we lose a considerable amount of our energy. Considerable amount of our energy. By talking. So Ranganathanji, in many of his lectures, he has said that whenever I go through the roads in India, I see people standing by roadside and doing what? Talking. So we particularly are in a state where the hobby is what? Pastime, talking. That itself is a big hobby, Adda. So simply adda, nothing. So I have told you probably, there were two boys bragging about the qualities of their mothers. So one fellow was saying that my mother is so intelligent, she can talk on any subject. The other fellow said, my mother is more intelligent, she can talk without any subject. So we constantly talk, and Swami Vivekananda, that's why he said that 1 ounce of practice is better than 20,000 tons of talk. See how the expression he has made, 20,000 tons, probably he saw it, and that is why he said. So we constantly talk. So this talking and also other different kinds of our wasting body energy. Posture is very important. How we sit. So we don't know. Some people sit like this always, because probably Jawaharlal Nehru has a very famous photo sitting like that. By sitting like that, you will not become Jawaharlal Nehru. That's a different story altogether. So you see, this sitting puts you all automatically, I don't know about Jawaharlal Nehru, but it puts you automatically in a very tense and pensive mood. Hi Bhagavan, kya hoga? So that is why people say that don't sit like that. But because we are in a rush to avoid whatever has come through the tradition. So because my grandmother used to say I should not do it. Not seeing the merits or demerits of that, but because she said or my mother says we should not do. So similarly, many things, how I should sit, then if you go and sit like that, like this very lackadaisical approach, then how will you study? Suppose you are studying calculus, say for example. How will you understand calculus or cosmology by sitting like that? You will not. For all you know, you will fall asleep. So for watching Friends, maybe that is the good posture, but for studying calculus, that may not be, or that is not definitely the good posture. So all these things, our body thing is very important. So the take home message from this part of the program or Tattvabodha is that we should know how to, handle or discipline the sheath or the covering of prana. And we should be aware of the covering of prana. People who say kuch bhi kha lo, they don't know what they are talking about. Why? Because kuch bhi kha lo, at least you will know the after effects next morning. So kuch bhi kha lo does not work. Actually, it will not give you good sleep, it will create indigestion, it will create so many other problems. And it has a very long hangover. So these things we should be very careful about. What water I am drinking, and all. So there are so many things in Ayurveda or other herbal medicines to purify your blood. Purify your blood. So why do people want to purify blood? Actually, people earlier days, they used to purge the stomach so that it becomes clean. All these, there is a system of doing things. Why do you purge? Because so many things get into the body, just like you clean a water tank once in some period. So similarly, you have to clean your stomach also. You have to clean that. You should take water and you keep the body clean, perfect. So then you are ready to go, because always you are taking food and so many problems and what kind of masala or other impurities going in. Now, this part of the body, the more we become aware, the better for us. Like for example, just see Alpa Prana, one is blinking of the eyes. How many of us are aware how many times we blink? Almost none of us. So it is very difficult. One Alpa Prana is this yawning. That also is one Alpa. So how many people are, and yawning is such a wonderful thing. One person yawns and everybody is yawning. So
why that happens?
Okay, that.
Why it happens? How it gets.
Okay, no, this is one very few question which I can actually answer. So yawning, you see, we are all basically hardwired to be living in herds. Though we may pride ourselves to be a human being, we are all hardware. Our hardware is to live in groups, like goat and all that, cows, etc. So certain things are there still in our hardware, which are of this thing. So a person yawning means lot of work has been done. This yawning mechanism, a lot of carbon dioxide is there, and that needs to get released. That is why yawning we do. Technically that is what. So I need more oxygen. So that is why we go into sleep. Means what? Whole day you have been expending your vital breath, prana, and so much of waste air has accumulated. So yawning is a sign that you have to go to rest. So in our brain there is a center which, when it sees that a person is yawning, because we were meant to be in herds, and if in herds you are all together, so now this is night time, sleep time. So the moment one person yawns, all other people start yawning, because the brain will immediately send signal, oh, now everyone is tired, we had already grazed all the fields, now let us go and sleep. Similarly, you see, smile or laughter, it is also infectious. If a person laughs, everybody will laugh. Actually, here again, we are hardwired to be in a predator kind of situation, in a jungle type situation. So where the person who is coming is going to kill me. A person means, or the animal who is coming is going to kill me. So if somebody laughs, that is my way of understanding that this person is not my predator. So this person will not kill me. So I also laugh in turn to show that I will also not kill that person. So that is also hardwired. You try not laughing, it is difficult actually. At least some smirk or something will come. But you will have to smile or laugh. So these two things are in our brain. It is neurological. And you can verify whatever I said by Google Namaha. So Pranamaya Kosha, now if we have to understand that we have to constantly be aware of even the smallest movement in our body, both external and internal. Now we go to the next kosha or the next sheath. Mental sheath. Mental means not in the sense of mental hospital mental, but related to mind mental. So Manomaya kosha. Manomaya kosha kaha manascha jnanendriya panchakam militva yo bhavati sa manomaya kosha. So that which is formed by adding mind with the five senses of knowledge is called Manomaya Kosha. Very simple. What are the five senses of knowledge? The sense of vision, sense of touch, sense of taste, sense of smell, sense of sound. So these five senses, that is our input system. Input system, if it is mixed or in addition to mind input system, it is called Manomaya Kosha. So you see, I don't know how this has happened, but naturally we are most of the times in our body level, in our Annamaya Kosha, in the sheath of food, and sometimes we are at the mental level or in the mind level or in the sheath of Manomaya Kosha. So we kind of leapfrog the in-between level of Pranamaya Kosha. And it is interesting. How it happens, I don't know at least. So we are not, never we can say that I am aware of my heart beating, or I am aware. If you go to Mayavati, you will become aware of your heart beating. You can actually hear your sound. So it's so silent. So, but you cannot say that I am aware of my digestion. Now there is the bile juice is secreted and all that. But you are definitely aware when you become depressed. You are definitely aware when you read something. Your mind starts working. You see, all these input systems are there and your mind is there. So when you see a pizza, pizza has to every time come. So when you see a pizza, you say that this pizza I had already eaten or I have not eaten, this is a new pizza, etc. So whatever, your mind, when you see a book, you know that yeah, this book belongs to my subject or it does not belong, or this book I will read or I will not read. Like that. When you hear some sound, some sounds are pleasant and some sounds are unpleasant. So even a pleasant sound, when you are doing something, if suppose somebody is playing a song, of say Justin Bieber or somebody. So otherwise you might be a fan, but when you are studying, at that time that is unpleasant. So even time or the situation makes certain things pleasant, but all these things are happening at which level? At the level of the mind. So your mind is processing. Now I am studying, now I don't want this. And now I am watching cricket match, I don't want calculus now. So your mind is constantly processing selecting inputs. Inputs are available always. That is the beauty. Inputs are available always. How many of you sitting here can tell me what is the expiry date of that extinguisher there? Nobody. But it is there. And how many of us have actually noticed that there is an extinguisher? Very few. So you see, inputs are always available. Whatever we see, we record. It has been proven now. Whatever we see, we record physically, but we don't remember. And because we have not put mind to that. So mind in conjunction with all these input organs. So just by seeing we don't remember, just by hearing we don't remember, just by being in a place we don't remember, just because we are getting a smell or a sound we don't remember, only when mind is there we remember. So mind should be always there. So this is the Manomaya Kosha. Now this is very important, just like I was telling you that we should be very careful about our physical sheath, the level of physical sheath. We should also be very careful of the level of mental sheath. Very, very careful. Physical sheath we should be careful to a great extent in a negative sense, that we should not place our personality at the physical level, that we should not always think that we are only the body and all, which we more than 80% of the time do. But we should, in the mental level, be very careful. How careful? There are lot of ways and lot of aspects to this problem, but generally we should be careful, just like we have a firewall in our computer or we have an antivirus in our computer. So we need an antivirus and a firewall and an anti-spam. We need these securities for our brain, not brain exactly, mind, for our mind. Because the nature of mind is very mischievous. Mind will take you to things which you don't want to do, and it will make you do things which you don't want to do and which you will repent afterwards. So mind will go with the flow of the sense organs. In fact, mind will go with the flow of the body. That is why we say psychosomatic illness, because you see this, it is so connected, intricately connected. Mind will take you. So if I give you some food which you like, immediately you will become happy. If I give you any kind of sensory perception which you like, at all the 5 levels, it could be food, taste, vision, touch, smell, anything, sound, you will like and you will become happy. So your mind wants, but suppose I were to feed you the same thing over and over again, you will become unhappy, fed up. So mind again plays tricks. The mind does not allow you to rest in any place. That is the core of mind. You see, mind will not allow you to fix yourself on any place. So suppose you have fixed a diet. Say, I will take morning only this, afternoon this, night this. After 3 days, mind will say, what is this? Every day you are taking the same food. So about every day taking the same food, there is one joke. No? There were 3 people working in an office. Of them a person was quite stupid. So now when they were having food, lunchtime, they all opened their tiffin box, dabba. And one fellow, he saw that it was idli. Said, what is this? My wife sends idli every day. And their office was on the 10th floor. So he said that tomorrow also if I get idli, I don't find any point in living. So I will commit suicide, jumping from here. Because only idli I am eating, I am earning so much money. The other fellow opened and he saw curd rice. So he said, I also will do the same thing, I will commit suicide because daily I get curd rice. The third fellow, he saw chapati. Said, I will also commit suicide because there is no point. So the other day, next day, all of them got the same lunch and all of them committed suicide and they left a suicide note. Because they all worked in the same company, there was a joint funeral, and then all the wives, missuses, they were talking. So the idli missus said that he never even hinted, I know so many things to cook, I thought he likes idli and that is why I used to prepare idli. And the curd rice missus said that he never gave me any hint, I also know so many things. So this chapati missus was standing little aloof, and they went to her and asked, how do you feel about, have you anything to say, we want to share in your, in your sorrow. So she said, I don't know what to say because he used to do his own cooking. So the same food, if you get again and again, you may also commit suicide. So, but mind likes that food. But the same thing cannot be repeated again because it will not allow you to fix even at such a gross level of food. It will not allow any constancy in your life. Everything should be wavering. That is why in Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna said, Jat asamshayam hi mahabaho mano durnigraham chalam. Undoubtedly, mind is durnigraham. It is difficult to control and it is always restless. Abhyasena tu kaunteya, vairagyena cha grihyate. But by abhyasa, by practice and by discernment, dispassion, you can control the mind. So this dispassion and this practice is very much necessary. So mind is a very, very, very tricky thing. So there is where viveka comes. You have to analyze. You have to discern. So mind.
Part of mind is viveka.
No, it is not part of mind. It is higher level. It is higher level, not part of mind. It is a higher level. We will come to that. So mind, it will say that eat jalebi, and you know that you have got diabetes. Not you, generally. Somebody has got diabetes, and again the mind will say eat jalebi. So you have to come in and say, that's what I am telling, antivirus. You will have to say that no, you cannot eat jalebi because you have diabetes. Now if you eat jalebi, then the diabetes will increase, then you will not be able to respond to insulin, then you will form gangrene in some part of your body, and then gangrene will have to be cut, pus will come out. Just picture this, no? You will never eat jalebi. That is what analysis is about. You have to think.
If that is so much enjoyable and I cannot give myself the negative aspects of it, then
so that is why dispassion is difficult, you see. We are not saying that it is so simple everyone can do. That is why Sri Ramakrishna says, I told you earlier also, that a camel eats thorns and sheds blood but still keeps on eating thorn. And I told you probably last time or not exactly, it thinks it is enjoyable.
Yeah.
Huh.
Which means the whole personality is now thinking that
It is enjoyable.
in fact it is enjoyable. So that's why.
No, it is suffering also. Again, it will go into that. That is why dispassion is necessary and discernment is necessary. Viveka and Vairagya.
But that camel will find some other food, alternative food, I think.
No. It is not like that. It does find other food. It does find other food. For example, in the case of relationships, no, that is the biggest example. You Facebook relationship cycle that. So you get into a relation, you get so much of blow. Again, you go and you think the other person will be perfect. How will it happen? Nobody will be perfect. But the person thinks that the other person will be perfect. So that is the thing. Without dispassion or discernment, it will never happen. It will never happen. That is why King Yayati said, what did he say? He borrowed 1,000 years of life from his son. And then he wanted to borrow more. And then he understood that he is not getting happiness. Or his happiness or peace. He is not getting mental peace by enjoying. Then he said, that enjoyment is like what? Pouring ghee, adding fuel to the fire. It will only increase, it will never put off the fire. So if you keep on eating or if you keep on enjoying, nothing will. So you have to picture, and that is why many texts have what is called Deha Ninda Prakarana, means a section devoted to the abuse or the denouncing of body. For example, I quoted that shloka from Prabodha Sudhakar. I didn't quote the shloka, the meaning that don't be proud of your beauty, crows are waiting to peck at you. That is from that Deha Ninda Prakarana. So you are, suppose when you are taking bath, we always think that now I am taking bath, I will become so beautiful that immediately Prakash Jha will give me a chance in his next film. But that doesn't happen, no? Because you are seeing only your face, your tummy you are forgetting. You are not six-pack. Or even if you have six-pack, that will only remain for some time. You just read the stories of these actors, poor things, how much struggle they have to keep them in shape. So this is all useless, nonsense. You are not, no, I am not saying that acting is nonsense. No. What I am telling is, this placing ourselves at the body level is nonsense. We are not bodies. In fact, we are nobodies. So, no bodies, nobodies. So, we are not bodies. We have to remember that, and that we cannot remember easily. For that, we will have to do dispassion and analysis. We will have to constantly analyze. So, when you are taking bath, if you analyze that inside me it is only blood, urine, stool and all that filth, you will not be able to stay in the bathroom for a long time. You will just get rid of it as quickly and come out. So that is what we have to analyze it. We have to constantly keep on analyzing. Somebody is scolding me. What would I do? If I am seeing that the person is not like Professor Sujay, some other lean fellow, I will try to, with him I will think twice or maybe thrice. But other fellow, I will try to give him one blow. Or if I am quote unquote cultured, then I will not give him a blow, maybe I will utter some Mahavakyas and all that. And if I am further cultured, what will I do? I will listen to him, then I will go and lament, I will tell to somebody else, or I will write a philosophical thing in my blog. I don't have a blog, I am just telling. So then that world is all very illusory, people don't understand me, blah blah blah, because somebody has scolded me. So this is Chinta Vilapa Rahitam, this we saw in Titiksha. That is very important, but we will not be able to do. It is very difficult to do, very very difficult to do. It is very easy to give lectures to people who are listening, but it is very easy, very difficult to do. So people criticize you, people insult you, you keep quiet and don't bother about it. Only when you understand that you are not this that people are criticizing. You are not that body or mind that people are criticizing. So you always need an anti-spam filter and an anti-virus filter. So there are so many things in the world. Shankaracharya, while talking about ahara, this has been quoted by Swami Vivekananda. He says, ahara does not only mean the gross food, physical food. Ahara also means mental food. Open Times of India, first 2 pages, not only Times of India, any other newspaper nowadays, first 2 pages is not news but advertisement. And that also sometimes the advertisement is so wonderful, no? And then they have all kinds of supplements, all the newspapers, and that all very, very, I mean, you cannot open the newspaper in front of children, that kind of situation. So, this is the ahara of mind. That has to be stopped, that has to be controlled. How do you control? $1 million question. How do you control? Now, this is really a problem. So, you have to constantly say no. So, no, people are there. Now, I find that it is far better to read news on computer. You can say images off, you can say so many things off, and you can simply see whatever you want to see, what is necessary for you to see and read. All the intrusions in terms of unwanted images, unwanted message. Now you open the newspaper and you are only told that so many people raped so many people. Okay, it's a problem and something has to be seriously done about it. But if I am going to be constantly, slow poison with this information that people are raping another person, another rapist will be born. Psychology says so. You constantly go on giving this into somebody's subconscious or unconscious, whatever terminology you use, the person will actually become that. So much of crime news and all these TV channels is Aaj crime channel. That person itself is like a criminal. So you have this criminal people, crime reporter, sansani-khej khabar. So you're trying to convert people into criminals or what? So we need a filter in our mind that will say no. I say no. I don't want this thought into my mind. I don't want this. There have been some efforts, like there is one, I could not get it, Good News Tableau. Somebody has started in Kolkata. A tabloid actually, which concentrates only on good news. So I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear bad news. Somebody is criticizing somebody else, I don't want to hear that. Somebody is saying that you cannot do this, I don't want to hear that. I don't give a damn I don't care a fig about you. So Sri Ramakrishna said to Swami Vivekananda, at that time Narendranath, that oh, people are criticizing, etc. Narendranath said, what did he say? Hathi chale bazaar mein, kutte bhonke hazar. So he said, no, don't go that far. No, but sometimes you have to be aloof you have to be indifferent to all this kind of, because jealousy is the bane of our nation, this will happen. So all these things, you have a value system, and that value system you have to follow. And how will you follow that value system? Only when there is a filtering mechanism in your body, in your mind. So you have to filter it out. To say, I will not speak lie. I will not do something which is not honest. I will not cheat other person. So like that, if you have some filters, just like checkbox, you just click that. Check those boxes and then you are good to go. Then that is what we have to do. So saying that I am not the mind means what? And then another thing, it is an interesting exercise if we can do. You see, sometimes somebody tells you something and you are angry. So instead of reacting in the spur of the moment, you tell yourself that it is the nature of the mind to get angry. It is the nature of the mind to get angry. Just like when it rains, we see mud everywhere, puddles everywhere. That is the nature of earth. So we don't make a big fuss of it. We don't make a big fuss of that. Similarly, when there is sunlight and you go on a tar road, you see something like water, but it is not there, mirage. We don't make a big fuss of that. Similarly, we should understand that now somebody has scolded me, so it is the nature of the mind to get depressed. But I should not go along with the mind. I should not get depressed along with the mind. So I am different, mind is different. This is an exercise which we can do. So abhyasena tu kaunteya. Anything will come only by practice. It will not come overnight. So we can do this exercise. I am different from the mind. So now mind wants me to watch this serial up to 4 o'clock in the morning. I will not do that because I need sleep, I have to study. So I go to sleep and then get in the morning, and however good that serial may be, I will not watch it, I will keep it for the weekend. And then maybe Saturday or Sunday, whole day I will sit and watch Game of Thrones or whatever serial it is you have to watch. So this kind of a mechanism we need to put in our mind, and that is when we can actually assert that I am not the mind. How do you do that? So suppose somebody is being attacked and that person knows that the person is being attacked. Now how does that person say that I am different from the body when the person is indifferent to such an attack? If I have to say that I am different from the mobile, then even if this mobile were to be lost, I should be calm. Only then people will know that I am not this mobile. Otherwise it will be like this old fairy tale stories. When if you have to kill a person, why fairy tale? Now Harry Potter, no? If you have to kill you know who or Voldemort, so you have to go and kill all that Horcruxes. I don't know how many of you are Harry Potter Huh? How many of you have read all the Harry Potter parts? 2 only. Yeah, good. So, in old this Pariki Kahaniya or fairy tale stories, you had this, if you had to kill somebody, you will have to go to some particular mountain and there one parrot will be there, you have to kill that parrot and this fellow will die here. So similarly, most of the people have their lives on this fellow, this Android or whatever phone or whatever. Now if the phone goes, this person also goes. So then how do I know that I am different from this phone? I don't, because I become identical with the phone. So if I have to assert that I am different from the mind, if I have to understand that this is only a covering on my true personality, then I will have to discipline the mind. Then I will have to ensure that I don't do just as my mind commands me to do. Then I will have to have a faculty which is above the mind. And that is why we should study the nature of the mind. And that is why we are now studying Manomaya Kosha. Manomaya Kosha means what? All the input system and the mind together. Because unless mind is there, you will not actually get the input. So when together you see, then you will have to constantly understand this. And that is why this has been in his famous commentary on the Bhagavad Gita, universal message of the Bhagavad Gita, Swami Ranganathananda ji liked the shloka, the 10th shloka of the 4th chapter. Vitaraga Bhaya Krodha. So a person who is beyond, who transcends Vita, Raga, Bhaya, Krodha. Vita Raga means one who transcends attachment, fear and anger. And he, Manmaya Mam Upashritaha. He is devoted to me, Krishna says, or he is devoted to the ultimate principle or truth or God, and he is worshipping me. Then the next line, Bahavo Jnana Tapasa. Bahavo Jnana Tapasa. Out of lot of Jnana Tapasa, Jnana Tapas, Puta Madbhavam Agataha. He becomes purified, Puta, and he comes to me, attains me. Madbhavam Agataha. What is the idea? Bahavo Jnana Tapasa. So it is an austerity, but it is not a physical austerity. You have to do lot of austerity, Bahavo, lots of austerity, but not a physical austerity. Austerity not in the physical plane, but Jnana Tapasa. Intellectual austerity. Austerity at the mental level. You have to always think what is good for me, what is not good for me. Nitya Anitya Vastu Viveka. So discernment means what? What is that which will remain? What is that which will not remain? What is that which is permanent? What is that which is not permanent? Shreya Preya, we saw in the Katha Upanishad. What is which is pleasurable and what is that which is preferable? So I don't need the pleasurable because it may not always, or rather almost always, it is not preferable. So I may have a sweet and then it may give some joy to me, but later on it will only create problems. So this pleasurable, preferable.
Why does it have to be always preferable, not pleasurable? That how can I, if I can convince myself that preferable is pleasurable, then I will go for it. That is all. How can I make that?
No, you cannot convince that preferable is pleasurable. Because when you are saying that pleasurable something, you are talking at the level of the senses. Okay. So preferable, if you say that it is also pleasurable, but your senses will say that no, they are not pleasurable.
Why do I leave pleasurable? Pleasure is attracting me. Why do I leave?
Why?
Why will I leave pleasurable to go towards preferable?
Why will you go?
Yeah, why will I leave pleasurable?
So the reason given in our philosophy, Indian tradition is, why should you go? Because you don't want to be born again. you don't want again to come into this world of birth and death. And I have a strong feeling that you don't believe in rebirth. If you don't believe in rebirth, then you don't want to suffer in this world. If you don't want suffering, then you should not go after the pleasurable, which is what Buddha will tell you. See, what Buddha says is, Buddha makes it very simple. He says that if you want to avoid suffering, you have to avoid this pleasurable thing. No, you didn't get it. Now the reason why you should not go to the pleasurable is to avoid suffering. Now I think you are going to the other question, is that why is it so difficult to avoid pleasurable? Is that what you are asking? Something. I know, but why?
Because that is attracting and the other thing is not attracting me.
No, why is it attracting you?
I don't know.
Yeah, that is the question, a big question. And that again is asked by Arjuna. This also we have discussed many times. Atha kena prayuktoyam papam charati purusha. Arjuna asked this question, that whatever you are telling is okay, all these things are correct, that I am the soul, etc., everything is correct. Atha, even then, kena prayuktoyam, propelled by whom, or coaxed by whom, or persuaded by whom, papam charati purusha. A person commits sins. Sins here means this pleasurable or whatever you can have. So there Sri Krishna replies, and baladiva niyojita. He says not only that, papam charati purusha, and not only that, it is baladiva, as though forcefully somebody is pulling you into this. Then Krishna says, kama esha krodha esha rajoguna samudbhava mahashano mahapapma. So, what is the reason? Kama, desire. Krodha comes because of kama, anger. Rajoguna samudbhava, and the desire to activity, the desire of activity. Rajoguna samudbhava, the rising up of activity. That what does it do? Mahashano mahapapma. It has got great hunger and it gobbles your true personality. And mahapapma, and induces you to do great sins or commit great mistakes.
Swami, through the experience of life, when one realizes truly that the sorrows or whatever is there primarily because of the desire for pleasurable, then only he will be able to leave the pleasurable.
No, it does not. It may sound very good when you said so, but never it happens. Because that is why all the Shastras, you may say so, but all the Shastras and all the scriptures say that till somebody realizes, not by experience, you can have 10,000 crores of, I am quoting one text, you can have 10,000 crores of births, you will never realize this. You will realize it only when you understand, or you suddenly have that flash of knowledge by the grace of Guru or by some practice, that this world is not going to give you happiness. Because as told in many texts, you see, never the waves will rest and never you can take bath in the ocean. So there will come one fine day when all your experiences will be over and you will understand that this world is not for you, or this world is not of happiness. That is never going to happen. And had it been possible, Bible would have said so, Quran would have said so, Upanishads would have said so. All these scriptures tell otherwise. Exact opposite. They say that you spend thousands of years in this, but never you will get this experience.
Sometimes that is why it says the sorrows are blessings. Primarily it is said because of the sorrow teaches you.
No, it does not teach. It does not teach. If it is, that is why Sri Ramakrishna gave the example. Then if that were true, then this camel would have understood then this woman who was under labor pain, she would have understood. But no, it does not happen like that. It is not what our sages say. No, that is not truth. When does it happen? Only when you analyze. When does it happen? Only when you think. Not because of suffering. How much suffering did Buddha have? Now immediately you will say Buddha was an incarnation. Why should he come as incarnation?
Family planning has come because of the people have realized that it's having a lot.
That is an absolutely, sorry for the language, that is an absolutely nonsense thing which a very popular Bengali author wrote in a magazine. And that is not the thing. You see, you may have some artificial means to prevent the birth of children, but you always are indulging in sense pleasures.
But previously, lot many children used to.
That is absolutely rubbish. That is absolutely rubbish. You see, now children are not born, but the whole process, has it stopped? Has it stopped? The whole process, has it stopped? No, you are going behind the point. Has a human being, individual, abstained from getting into sex?
So people have they have avoided having more number of children.
So
They have avoided. Why? Because of the problem they have faced.
what problem?
They have adopted certain process. That's okay, but
These are all material things. These are all material things. So like that, if you see there is a river and people were going by boat, so people saw that it is a problem, they put a bridge. That is all technology, and this is a material thing. We are not talking about that. We are talking about desire. You are missing the whole point. So we saw that accounts, by doing manually accounts was difficult. We invented accounting packages. So that is every time happening. That is what we invented, the wheel, because we saw locomotion is difficult. We invented the wheel. It is all, that is one different thing you are talking about. We are not talking about that. We are talking about the desire. Has it reduced the desire? No, never. Suffering will not lead you to reduce the desire. Yes. First of all, you see, constantly tell only if you believe that your true personality is not the body and the mind. If you believe that your true personality is body and the mind, you are welcome, you enjoy your body. This is not something which is imposed upon you. No tradition imposes you. If you think that by concentrating on my body and mind I will be happy, okay, do it. That is why we have the imagery of Virochana. Virochana thought that my body is the ultimate reality. Okay, fine. Nobody is giving anybody a, ultimatum that you have to do this. No. If you think that you are the body, if you think pleasure is your life, go ahead. But that is not the truth. No, but that you have to realize yourself. You read it in 10,000 scriptures, you will not understand. You hear it from many people, you will not understand. You have to realize it yourself. And that will come only by analysis. Only by practice. Not by any other thing. Otherwise it would have been so simple. Everybody crossing 60 would have become Brahmagyani. Why don't we use logic here?
You are talking about only one life. You are limiting it only one.
No. It is not like that. It is not like that. Only when, see, you read Gita instead of arguing. Please read books. Read Gita. You show me one place where what you are telling is told. Never. Nowhere it is told. So only when, even Gita says, a person who is yoga brashta means who started spiritual life and could not attain the ideal. Only that person will get a conducive atmosphere in the next birth. It does not say a person who kept on enjoying and forgot everything will get it. No scripture says, forget about Gita, forget about Hinduism, you give any other scripture. Forget about even Hinduism, even psychology does not say so. So I don't know where from you got this wonderful idea. So see, first thing, let us not go into arguments. First thing is, this is not something which is everybody should do. If you feel so, you can do. But this is what I am just reproducing is what is told in the text. Now that I don't have the audacity to question because people have practiced it and they have told. So unless I practice and see that it is otherwise, then only I have the authority to say that it is otherwise. Just by cogitating or imagining, I cannot say that what is written in all these texts is wrong, simply because I think so. That I don't think is also logical. So what just by suffering, you will never attain knowledge. That is not possible. If it were so, then all of us would have attained. It is not so. When it comes, you please read that section of Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Here very clearly he explains. When it comes, only when you start praying only for devotees, or if you want to do contemplation, you start analyzing, only then it will come. Otherwise it will never come. Because suffering means what? By enjoying you suffer. So by enjoyment will you get? No, you will not get. So that is why we have to constantly think. And thinking means little silence and little thinking. Just by getting into arguments we will not be able to think. We have to cogitate, we have to analyze, take pen and paper, do thought experiment. There is something called as thought experiment you are aware of. So you do thought experiment and think and analyze texts. Think what people have told, what the masters of different religions have told. And then you will understand that what is the kind of thinking we need. That is for people who believe that these things are true. If a person says, I don't care about religion, fine, no problem. Then you will have to think only about what your true personality is. Then you will have to go through an analytical approach. Does your mind say that your true personality is mind? Then the question will come. Then if it is so, how is it that in the morning it was angry, in the afternoon it became happy, and in the night it becomes sad? But you are claiming the same identification of the same personality. So definitely your mind is not your personality. But if you believe in rebirth, if you believe in these traditional things, then you will have to follow the Vedas. You will have to follow the tradition. If you believe in Buddha, you will have to follow the Buddha. Now this is kind of a dichotomy that you say that I believe in cosmological models, but still will not follow the scientists who have propounded that. You say that I believe in religion, but I will not believe in Vedas. That doesn't work. You have either one approach, either believe in Vedas and go by that, or don't believe in anything, go by an analytical approach. By whatever approach you go, you will understand that without analysis, you can never ever arrive at the truth. So this is what we need to do at the mental level, mind level. And in the next class, we will see the Vijnanamaya and Anandamaya Kosha.
A totally different topic. That is, if somebody comes to grow, then what happens that because his body and mind doesn't want to experience pain, so naturally mind and body react. Yeah. So that reaction, can you identify that is I or soul? That is it becomes the reaction of the mind and the body.
It is very much. No, it is very much, unless you have the sense of ego, you will never react. Because because if it were only the body, then a person who is dead also would have reacted.
No, because the living body, the flow will come to the
No, you are very conveniently dividing this soul from the body, but in practice it is not so. Only till you are alive. That means what? Okay, technically alive body which is in coma also does not react. So only when you think that you have got pain, if I am going to give a person a sedative by which that person will not feel any pain, then also that person will not react. Is it not? Neurologically, if I am going to induce the pain without beating the person, that person will react. So it is possible now to fire the same neuron in the brain which produces pain. So if I do that in a laboratory setup, that person will start reacting. That is why you see brain surgery patients sometimes have convulsions. Why? Because of the brain surgery, some wrong places get fired now and then. So when people have concussions and all, you see, they will try to move their limbs. So this is the thing, what I am telling is, without the sense of ego, you will never react.
Yeah, I give you two instances. Aku says that most number two, when Swamiji was going by the sheep and that European was criticizing, he said, I just.
See, first of all,
reactions are what?
no, first of all, you are comparing different things. You are comparing apples with oranges. This Swami Vivekananda experienced Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and he was a prophet of modern India, and he was doing this. Okay, we are not talking about at all that. This is only an academic gymnasium now. No, we are not. We are talking about spiritual practice. Okay. Second thing is force korte habe. That is also in the worldly behavior. We are not talking about that also again. But Thakur is telling force korte habe. He is also telling another example where he says you have to work like a housemaid, knowing full well that this is not your true house. If we are able to have that attitude, then you do all that. Are you able to have this attitude? That is the question. If we can maintain this attitude always, then yes, his sometimes, because you have to live in the world and you have to meet all kinds of people. But can you maintain this attitude that this is not my true world? Mano chalo nije nitketane. Can you maintain this attitude? Be sincere to yourself, because it is not for showing anybody. So it is not just academic gymnasium we are doing. It is something very experiential, very practical. And from that perspective, you see, we have to understand that I am not the body, I am not the mind. Only then other things we can do. But before that, we are just babies in religion. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat